Hello and welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for fantasy Premier League content for the 2021-22 season. My name is Dan and welcome to the Gameweek 26 deadline stream. Oh my word. Oh, bit of a stressful morning. I'm sorry we're 10 minutes later than usual today because my thumbnail file corrupted. My file's corrupted, so yeah, it was difficult to get this stream live. But we got there. So I'm going to try and calm myself down because I want this to be the calm zone. I want this to be the calm stream. I know a lot of people are going a little bit crazy with hits and potentially going for wild cards as well, which is fine. Obviously, I gave a little bit banter on Twitter, but no, if you want to do a wild card, that's absolutely fine. But this is the non-wild card zone. I feel like there are some other streams probably going on right now where people are tinkering with wild cards. I have to just admit to you guys that if you are looking for wild card stuff, this probably is just not the stream, because I'll try and help you out a little bit, but I'm not going to be wildcarding myself. I'm going to be triple captaining myself this game week. I'm set on that. I've already wildcarded a couple of game weeks ago in order to set up for this game week. So I'm in a pretty good position as it is. So no need to wildcard, no need to panic. And I'm basically gonna just try and stay pretty calm and not make too many risky transfers or anything like that. I'm going to make one transfer today and I'm going to do that live on stream. I'm going to tell you a little bit about how I'm kind of planning on moving forward, because obviously we've got some new double game weeks coming up. Have they updated on this app? Yes, they have. There you go. So game week 28, new fixtures in. Southampton versus Newcastle, Wolves versus Watford, Leeds versus Aston Villa. So those three games, those 6 teams will all have a double game week. So that's looking pretty nice there in 28. And then in 29, we have got the doublers of Brighton, Spurs, Arsenal, Liverpool, Everton and Newcastle. And I think a lot of people wildcarding now are eyeing up that Arsenal-Liverpool game for a triple captain. So, yeah, could be pretty interesting. Now, I might make some final changes. I'm thinking about taking out one of Elise or Edouard and putting in Cancello. I'm not sure I want to miss out on Cancello, but at the same time, I'm going to transfer out Bruno Fernandes for Heung-min Son. So, do I really want to play Cancello and Son? I don't know. Maybe I should go all or nothing kind of thing with that. Let's see. But there are a couple of rumours that Elise and Edouard are benched. Don't know how true it is. I mean, I guess we can try and find a reasonably good source. If someone has got a source that they think is really reliable on Crystal Palace team news, please do feel free to at me on Twitter at FPL Mate and just tag me in any team news you find that you think is reliable. We'll kind of have a look at it and see if we reckon that's true or not. So yeah, Cancello probably going to come in for one of those Crystal Palace players. Fernandes is going to go to Son. So, there we go. Abhinav says, "Hi mate, you look like Jesse Lingard." Thank you. Ramsey says, "Either that or take a stupid hit." Had to wildcard. Either that or take a stupid hit. Okay. Wildcard or hit. Well, I mean, honestly, and obviously it is team dependent, but one of the reasons I'm not really so keen on the wildcard now idea. I do prefer a wild card around game week 28. I've always said that's my ideal wild card time, I guess. Maybe that could be shifted to 27 or 29, depending on how your team is set up. But I do feel like, even if you are taking a hit, even if you're taking a 12-point hit, I feel like Salah genuinely could be worth that 12 points. The ability to triple captain could be worth 12 points, because the other game week where you're going to triple captain would be game week 29. So this would be the other triple captain week where Liverpool play against Brighton away and Arsenal away, which are two not so good games for Liverpool, really. I feel like the ceiling for Salah in those two games is significantly lower. We've got a super chat here from Anurag. He says he has a similar team to mine. He just wants to do KDB and Ramsey for Salah and Elise. I don't think I would bring in Elise, no. So maybe find a different midfielder other than Elise. He's a little bit risky, a little bit too risky, I think. So maybe not him. Someone said, a couple of people in the chat talking about Reguilon. Obviously, Reguilon is heavily rumoured to have COVID, so you may not have that opportunity to use him this game week, unfortunately. Robson versus Virgil van Dijk. Van Dijk is safer in the short term, but I do think Robertson is a player you'd probably be more likely to want a little bit more longer term. So there we go. Anyone asking about captaincy and triple captaincy? My answer is always going to be the same. My answer is always going to be Salah. If you do really want to go for Robertson, that's kind of that's kind of going to be at your own risk, really. If you want to take the risk and captain someone other than Salah, that really is on you. You're not going to get confirmation from me. I'm not going to validate anyone captaining anyone other than Salah. I just can't. I can't do it to you guys. I can't do it to myself. And Nathan says, "Hi mate, Ramsdale versus Sarr, Kilman versus Cody." I guess I like Ramsdale, and I'd probably prefer Cody to Kilman. But yeah, Ramsdale is still the keeper I prefer. Well, there we go. Would I bench boost my setup? I would if it wasn't. I would consider it if it wasn't such a good opportunity for a Salah triple captain. I still very much like the idea of bench boosting in Gameweek 36. Even I think it's going to be even better than what I've got here. I'm still going to have a super strong squad in Gameweek 36. It's not like my squad is going to be much weaker then, so we're still going to be dealing with the same players, and we're going to have even more double game weeks at that point as well. So, yeah. Ujian says, what to do with Cancello and Laporte? I have both. I'd probably play Cancello and kind of maybe bench Laporte. I'm just going to check on Twitter to see if anyone tagged me in any team news. I imagine there might be something. Maybe. There we go. Oh, FPL lad. Oh, I don't know. This guy is a bit of a troll. I actually, he's actually sent me a lot of abuse in the past, so I've got him muted. So I don't know. Is he a reliable person? I don't think he's a very nice person, but that's by the by. I don't know how true this is. But would he tweet something this direct? Is he saying Tyrick Mitchell is playing Ward, Guehi, Anderson? Oh, it's kind of not in the normal order. Okay, well, I mean, if that's true, then that's true. I think, to be honest, maybe I just do switch out one of Elise or Edouard. I mean, to be fair, with the rotation for Crystal Palace, that means those guys are more likely to be playing against Watford. Who do I get rid of? Maybe I get rid of Elise for Cancello, like that. I mean, that looks pretty good, to be fair. And then I half the risk. I half the risk of those two players, which is good. I mean, I don't particularly want to play Cancello against Son, but yeah, there we go. There we go. A few people asking about Firmino. I'm not feeling it. Firmino's never been a good FPL asset. He hasn't been a good FPL asset for years and years and years. So I'm not convinced by him suddenly now. I know that Jota is not going to be available. Yeah, what can you do really? It just seems that maybe people are kind of picking some players that they wouldn't normally go for, which is fine. I think that's fine if you're on a free hit or something like that. But if you are kind of if you are thinking about the long term, do we really want to be going for someone like Firmino? I feel like that's a player that you could potentially regret. So I'm not really feeling Firmino, if I'm honest. Why not keep Bruno? Because it's all part of my plan. It's all part of a longer term plan. Where basically, I did put this on Twitter, but basically my plan is, my chip strategy, if you will, is to obviously maximise doubles in this game week, play the triple captain, and then going into game week 28, I'm going to free hit, which is going to be interesting because a lot of people are opting to free hit in 27. 27 is the big free hit week. But I'm actually really well set up. This team is actually really well set up for Game Week 27, so I'm not too worried about that one. So I'm just going to, go with my normal team in Game Week 27. So we're going to free hit in 28 instead for that double game week. So we don't need to worry too much about getting in players. I mean, let's have a look at the players kind of doubling in 28. So, yeah, okay, players like, I know we already have Broja, but I don't have to worry about getting in players like Jimenez. I don't need to worry about getting in any Leeds or Aston Villa players in. I can actually remove my Aston Villa players, which is something I quite like to do for the long term. So I don't need to worry about getting these players. And actually, some of these fixtures are pretty good. The Game Week 29 double Game Week fixtures, I don't like so much. You know, we've got Brighton against Spurs, which is not ideal, but that's one of the better ones, I suppose. Arsenal versus Liverpool, two big teams against each other, and teams that I'm going to be loaded up on anyway. We've got Everton versus Newcastle. That's just got trap written all over it. So I'm not really going to go in too heavy on that one, particularly as Everton's other fixture is Wolves and Newcastle's other fixture is Chelsea. So I'm not really bothered about, you know, doing a free hit or doing anything crazy in this game week because I don't think this double game week is actually that good. So I'm going to go chipless for this game week. And then in game week 30, where, I know, although it says there's loads of fixtures now, a lot of these fixtures are going to be blanks. In fact, most of these fixtures are going to be blanks in game week 30. We'll free hit again then. So game week 28 and 30 will be free hits. And we're basically going to focus on making sure we've got players for the double game week 29. So Arsenal and Liverpool players primarily, and Spurs, hence going for Son, which is because that's, I feel like, an okay double game week there. And then also, because we're going to be free hitting in game week 30, we don't need to worry too much about the few teams that will be playing. So the few teams that will be playing are kind of, you know, Aston Villa, Arsenal will be playing in game week 30. So I don't need to worry too much about Aston Villa. I can't remember who else, potentially Burnley, Southampton, Wolves versus Leeds. But I won't need to worry about having too many players from those teams because I'm going to be free hitting then. And all the teams who aren't playing in this game week, who would be the players who would be in my normal team for Game Week 30, will double in 36. So I should have loads of double Game Week players for 36, ready for a bench boost then. I really hope that makes sense, but I'm sure it didn't. It makes sense in my head, and that's the most important thing. I'm going to be obviously doing some videos and stuff on chip strategy, which I hope is going to make things a little bit clearer, but that can wait until next week, I think. So yeah, stay tuned for that. So there we go. Am I triple captaining? Yes, I am. Yep, the triple captain icon is there. The little white captain's icon. It's always nice to see. It's always nice to see, isn't it? Yeah. Any more team news? Someone says that Sam Maximan's out. Didn't see that, but if that's true, then fair enough. I do strongly think that Reguilon is the guy with COVID. I obviously there's nothing confirmed there, but it really does seem like Reguilon is the player with COVID, because we know Spurs have one COVID case, and Reguilon is the player who has not been pictured in any training pictures this week. So that's, I don't know. There's a correlation there. There's a correlation there. I don't know what that could mean. Will Weghorst play? I think Weghorst will play. Yeah. Will I do a bench list? I haven't prepared a bench list just because I've been panicking so much about my files that corrupted this morning, basically, that I haven't had time. But I think we could potentially do a live one. Let me just see if I can find the file on my phone. Let's make a bench list, I think. Can we? Right, let me just go on to this screen mode whilst I open up the file, and we are going to find a beautiful bench list for us all to use, and we'll do it live because I think that could be fun. I mean, if we're not doing the exciting wildcard stuff, we may as well do a bench list. Okay, bench list for game week 26. Here we go. Let's remove some. Let's just leave that. Okay, right. Ready? Here we go. The return of the bench list is back. We haven't done this in so long. It really has been a while. All right. Let's start adding some players here. So I think, you know, you put players like Cancello up here. I do slightly prefer Broja just because you back the attacker. I'm just going to put my players in there for starters. I think I'll put King and Dennis below. Super chat here from Josh Norris says, get Son in for KDB. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good move, depending on your tactic. And then, guys, you can tell me who else you want me to put on the bench list. I have a feeling it could be a very, very significant bench list today. So let me know who you want. Ollie Watkins, I'm going to put right at the bottom of the bench list. I'm going to put Digne, I think, fairly low as well. But I would put Digne in ahead of Coutinho, I think. Don't know why. I feel like I would. Brighton defenders. Let me just remind myself who Brighton are even playing. That's not the right game week. They've got Burnley. Okay, so that's not a bad fixture for Brighton, is it? But I would still feel like I maybe put Brighton defenders here. I'm just going to put them all in at once, otherwise we can go on and on. Ramsey would be probably just below Coutinho. That makes sense. Check Twitter, someone says. We got more notifications. Don't really know what I'm looking for here. Don't know what I'm looking for there. We'll go back to the bench list. Dunk says, Broja, Cancello, Elanga or Lamptey to start. Should we just add all of them to the bench list? So we've got Broja already. We've got Cancello. We've got Lamptey technically because he's in the Brighton defenders. So let's just add Elanga and put him... You know what? I'll put him pretty low. I think that was a bit of an L. Shardul says, Ramsdale triple captain YOLO. That is on you. If that is what you want to do, you are not getting any confirmation from me. You're not. I'm not going to be the guy who tells you it's okay to triple captain Ramsdale. I'm sure you'll find someone who will give you the validation. It's not me. I'm Salah triple captain gang. JM says, is Edouard playing? Should I take a hit to buy Weghorst instead? I also have Broja on the bench, so could even swap him for Edouard. I mean, there is doubts about Edouard playing, so, to be fair. You could potentially think about buying Weghorst instead, but yeah, like you've said there, you've got Broja on the bench. Broja's not a bad player at all to be playing this game. I really like Broja. I'm going to be playing him this game week. I quite like the idea of playing him. I just need to decide, basically. I want to play one of Edouard or Elise, just in case that team news is fake, because obviously there is some leak that says Edouard and Elise both bench, but I just don't know how true that is. Excuse me. I'm doing my usual sneeze that I only seem to do in this room of the house. I don't sneeze in any other room but this one. I just need a hoover, maybe. Or dust. Is there any dust? No, they can't. Oh, it must be in something. I think it's in my lighting rig. I think that's where the dust is. Ugh. Okay, right. We're going to add some more players to the bench list. That's what it's all about. Okay, so let's try and think. So Fowl plays against Newcastle. You know what? I would actually put West Ham defenders pretty low. So I'm just going to put all of them there. We're going to cover them all in one go. We're going to put them pretty low. Weghorst seems good. I'm not even going to put him in the. I'm not going to put him in the bench list because if you have Weghorst, play him. I think he's going to be good. You want Antonio? A few people want Antonio. Antonio, where would I put Antonio? Playing against Newcastle, who have improved, but I don't know. I feel like maybe he'd be pretty low. I'll probably put him right like there, maybe. Yeah, I think I'll probably put him pretty low. Arman says Salah, Saka and Weghorst in for KDB, Jota and Dennis for a -8. It's not too bad. I mean, to be honest, I would consider just doing Salah and Saka for KDB and Jota. Just do the -4. I don't think you need to go too far. Spurs defenders is a tricky one because you feel like because it depends what defender. And because all of them are rotation risk, I just don't know where I put Spurs defenders. I might have to leave them off the list. I'm going to put Laporte in. I actually would put Laporte in between King and Dennis, I think, because I would be kind of tempted to play him. But not as tempted as I would be with Cancello. We know how high Cancelo's ceiling is. Nori on the bench list, I would put him pretty... I would play him, to be fair. I would be pretty keen to play Nori. So he's going to go right to the top. So guys, I know it's been a while actually since I've actually made a bench list, but basically on these deadline streams, sometimes I make a list of basically players that you should consider playing and you should consider benching. So basically what you've got to do is look at this list, and we'll fill this list up with more and more players. And if you've kind of, a lot of the questions I kind of get on these streams are, should I bench this player or this player? So what I've basically come up with is a way of quickly answering all those questions. So just look at this list. So say, for example, you have Aït-Nouri and you've got Bowen, and you've got to bench one of those two players. And you want to ask me, Dan, who would you bench and who would you play out of Aït-Nouri and Bowen? Well, because Aït-Nouri is higher on the bench list, that means I would play Aït-Nouri over Bowen, and I would bench Bowen out of those two players. If you've got three players on the list, you can only play one. You've got Ramsey, you've got, you've got Ramsey, King and Dennis. You can only play one of them. Then the bench list dictates that you should play Dennis. Now, obviously, this is just my opinion, and it's not going to be 100% accurate. Who knows what the actual points output will be. And if you disagree, you disagree. But this is just kind of my opinion. So someone asked about Cornet. Cornet, again, pretty high on the list. I put him maybe around here, I think. Pretty high. Alonso, people asking for Alonso. All right, people are begging for Weghorst, so I'm just going to put him at the top so people stop asking me about him. He's going at the top. He should not even be a question. Someone asked for Jimenez as well. If you've got players like Weghorst and Jimenez, two players with good double game weeks, don't bench them. For heaven's sake, of course you shouldn't bench them. It's absolutely crazy. A couple of super chats here. Anurag says, thinking of Jimenez for Watkins from -4 and bench Broja. You could do, it's an option, but I don't know if that will be necessarily worth the -4. And also it depends on your chip strategies going forward. And that is another, in terms of transfers, it's so hard to answer questions without knowing your whole team. And I can't learn your whole team and just come up with a strategy for your entire team, on a stream like this. It's just not possible. For my own personal team, it takes hours and hours to come up with a strategy that I like. So we have reached a point where, I don't know. I mean, obviously, a good way to play FPL for fun is just to make transfers and not worry too much about strategy. But at the same time, it does matter. It does matter what game weeks you're planning on wildcarding, what game weeks you're planning on free hitting, and that's going to massively dictate what players that you bring in using your transfers. So I can only advise on which players I like and which players I don't like. I can't necessarily say if it's a good transfer or not. Ramsey Unleashed says play Dennis or Broja. Should have read the bench list and save yourself £2, Ramsey, because Broja is ahead of Dennis on the bench list, which means that Dennis is the man to play. He's the guy. William in the super chat. Also, thank you, Game On Ya, for becoming a member of the channel. I do appreciate that. William says play 3 and bench 3. Oh, you should have looked at the bench list. Come on. You've got Weghorst, Aït-Nouri, two players with really good double game weeks. You're not going to bench them. You're just not going to bench them. So play Weghorst, play Aït-Nouri, and play Cancello. I can't believe people are genuinely considering benching players like Weghorst, Aït-Nouri, Cornet. You've got these players with double game weeks. They've got twice the opportunity for output as any other players, and yet you want to bench them. It's absolutely crazy. I understand if the double game week player is not a very high scoring FPL player. Dennis and King have been a bit trolly recently. I can understand why you want to bench them. If you've got a Josh Brownhill or someone, technically he has got a double game week, but he is just basically a bench option really for your team. Fair enough, bench those. But come on, if you've got Jimenez, you've got Weghorst, come on guys. You can't be benching those players. A lot of people asking for Foden, so we'll stick him on there just for the sake of it. Really, I think Foden goes reasonably high. Plays against Spurs. It's not the best fixture in the world, but I still would say he goes reasonably high. I'd say put him like that. Adnan says I've already taken a -8, and I have Son and Salah. I already also have Ronaldo. Should I play Ronaldo against Leeds? Yeah, depends who else you've got on your bench. There's nothing. I don't think this. I don't personally think. Well, I think there's a very good chance that Ronaldo does get benched or rotated this game week. I think there's a serious chance of that happening. So I don't know if it will pay off or not, but it does depend on who you got on your bench. Johnny says, "Hi Dan, with how many expected points on the bench would you consider a bench boost?" I would say about, I don't know, I'd want 15 to 20 points. I don't think I've got 15 to 20 points here on my bench, if I'm honest. I mean, no, I don't, because Watkins is a 2-pointer. De Gea is a serious chance of a 3-pointer there, so that's 5. Dino is potentially a 6, I guess, so that's 11. And Elise, I'm not really sure if he's not going to play the first game, then he could be as low as 3, or he could get something out of the second game against Watford. So I mean, maybe this is crawling towards a 15-point bench boost, but I just feel like the bench boost 36 has got a little bit high potential. I think that's got a potential of kind of 20, 25 points. Or, a more realistic potential of 20, 25 points. So that's kind of why. Watkins, I'm not convinced by him at all. Dino's been a bit trolly recently, although I do still think that Aston Villa will keep a clean sheet. I feel like with Dino, I feel like I am benching 6 points there, which is really annoying. I don't want to do that. Everything in my brain tells me let's play Dino ahead of Cancello, but I know I can get burnt if I do that. But I really want to do it. I mean, maybe I bench Edouard as well and just take the L and just play with only a few double game week players. I don't know about that. But I do really want to play Dino. Really want to play him. Oh well. Alexander says, got Martinelli on my wild card in Gameweek 24, looking to replace him for -4. Go Rafinha, Cornet, Saka. Maybe Cornet if you're not free hitting next game week. Maybe go for Cornet. Loads of super chats flooding in. I'll try and get to all of them, as many as I can anyway. Jay says, play Broja over Dennis or King. Yep, according to the bench list, that is the thing to do. Edward says, my options are... Oh, there's a lot of writing here. I'm not going to read all this out, but thank you, Edward. I would keep... I wouldn't trade out Cancello for a hit. I would maybe do Antonio to Jimenez for a hit. Or I'd maybe do a Reguilon. Maybe just... Reguilon to Robertson, I probably like the most out of that. So do that, I guess. Armand says, remove KDB or CR7 for Salah. I think CR7. Alexander says, got Martinelli on my wildcard in Game Week 24. Looking to replace him for -4 this round. Go Rafinha, Cornell, Saka. Saka means I got 10 stars. Oh, wait, I already did that one. Is that coming twice? I feel like that came in twice. Oh, no, I just read it before. Never mind. Can we add Dallo to the bench list? Okay, a lot of people do have Dallo, don't they? We can add Dallo in somewhere. How much do we trust a Man United clean sheet? Probably not that much. Maybe he'll be pretty low, I guess. Pretty low indeed, actually. Yeah, he'll be all the way down here, I think. Could put Edouard on the bench list. He would be, I think, with the expectation that he's not going to play, I guess we put him, I don't know, around here. He's still a double game week player, so he could still come off the bench. It doesn't matter as much. I don't know. How many hits max? The problem is there's so many, this is a terrible time to answer questions because I can't tell you what's good for your team. I can't tell you how many hits you should and shouldn't take because I don't know what your team is. I can't tell you which players you should bring in because I don't know what your chip strategy is. I can say I like a player, I can say I don't like a player. I can't say what is good for your team, which is just the most it's such a hard concept to get around at this stage of the season. Ethan says, is keeping KDB an option or take a second -4? No, definitely keeping KDB. De Bruyne is definitely worth keeping. I think he's definitely worth keeping. I mean, I'm not going to put Crystal Palace defenders on there because they're pretty nailed. You can just play them. Play your Crystal Palace players. Lise's already on the bench list, I believe. Oh, no, he's not. Let's just put him next to... you know what? Let's put him behind Cancello. But this is only based on this news. I just would like to see it from another source. I don't know if I trust this guy, because this guy, I don't know if this guy is literally just here to kind of troll me specifically, because this the guy who has put out this team news, he's in his, maybe this is just me being, thinking the world revolves around me, but the person who has put out the fake team news has omitted 2 of my players, and this is a guy who has kind of trolled me and just sent abuse to me for literally the last year. And I don't really understand what his problem is with me, but I think he's got a bit of a hate hard on. So I don't know if this is just one giant troll. I would like to see the Crystal Palace team news from somewhere more reliable. And kind of, if that's the case, maybe maybe I play Elise, but I'm definitely not. I was already kind of considering dropping one of them, so I guess I dropped one of them, but no, I kind of half feel like this is a troll. So if anyone's got, can I search Crystal Palace team news? See if we can get it from anywhere reliable. What's that account that's quite good for? Yeah, this one. This is pretty reliable. Very reliable, actually. Has he said anything on Crystal Palace? Has he said anything today? No, nothing today. Yeah, no. The more I think about it, the more I think the leaked lineup is a troll. Yeah, I think it could be. Yeah, don't trust this guy. Don't trust him. I've decided that the Crystal Palace leak is fake. I mean, obviously, it is possible that it could happen. I'm not denying that it's very, very like a reasonably possible thing. But I think the Crystal Palace, unless someone can link me to something more reliable, I think the team news is fake. But he almost got me. Right, let's do my transfer, because I do still need to do my transfer. So Fernandes is going to come out and Son is going to go in. So let's just lock that one in before the craziness of getting closer to the deadline. So we're going to do this. Fernandes out. No hits taken. Lots of money freed up in the bank. I could regret this in the short term. I'm going to try and judge this transfer over 2 game weeks and not 1 game week, to be honest. So yeah, if this looks bad in this game week, try and wait 2 game weeks. Try and wait 2 game weeks before judging this transfer, I think, because I think this can be better judged over 2. A few of you guys want to see the bench list on the screen again, so we'll do that. I'm just gonna have another look at my team, just make sure it looks beautiful, and it does. And I'm tempted to put Elise back in for Cancello. Yeah, let's. I don't know. Let's go for it, because I really want Son to score against City and mud. I want the City clean sheet to be mudded. I want that to happen. I really want that to happen. So yeah, let's do that. Let's go all or nothing. Let's go all or nothing. And to be fair, with the people wildcarding and stuff, a lot of people are actually not going to be playing Cancello this week. So I don't think Cancello is going to be as damaging as a player as he is normally this game. I think he could be slightly less damaging. Where Salah is going to be very damaging. So yeah, we're gonna roll with our. We've now got 9 double game week players, and we've not even taken a hit, which is just beautiful. It's beautiful, isn't it? So yeah. Dan Cross says, does Mrs. FPL Mate realise she's activated her free hit and not a wild card? Oh God, has she tweeted something? What have you? I mean, I know she has activated her free hit because we did have free hit together last night. at dinner. That's the kind of things we get up to at dinner. But yeah, we should. That's your free hit, not your wild card, you silly sausage. I mean, just give her a little bit of, cut her a little bit of slack. She's new to the game. She's learning. But that is indeed a free hit, not a wild card. And by the way, how about this? How about Mrs. FPL Mate's free hit team? That is pretty nice. Look at that. 11 doublers. Like, guys, if you're free hitting this game week, I think your team should look pretty similar to that. Pretty similar. I like it. Right, we've got a couple of super chats to catch up on, I believe. Let's have a look. Giandre says, which combo do you prefer, Lacazette, Son and Buendia, or Weghorst, Bruno and Saka? I'm not really too keen on Buendia. I don't know where that shout's come from. No, I don't. I guess I like Lacazette, Son, and someone who's not Buendia, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not, maybe it's okay, but I don't know. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling Buendia. Could be. I guess that one though. Okay, let's. I know, but Weghorst has got the double-double. Okay, Weghorst, Bruno and Saka. There you go. I would prefer Weghorst, Son and Saka. Can't you just do Weghorst, Son and Saka? There we go. Right, let's get back to the bench list as by popular demand. Everyone wants to see this. Where'd you put Lucas Moura on the list? I mean, he's got a double game week. I feel like he could be the full guy. I feel like he could get rotated at some point. So I don't know. He'd still go reasonably high, but not super high. I would put him like, I guess, somewhere around here. Let's put Lucas Moura here. Yeah. Could you put Digne instead of Elise? I could, yeah. I could put Digne in. I'm annoyed because I want to play Digne, but everyone has said don't play him. Everyone I speak to said don't play Digne, but I want to. I really want to. It's not fair. I just want to play Digne. And I just think he's gonna get a clean sheet, surely. I want to play him. Giandre says, yes, I could do Weghorst, Son and Saka for a hit. Yeah, go with that combo. I prefer Son to Bruno for the longer term, for sure. So that's what I'll do. Put Gallagher on the bench list. Well, we know Gallagher isn't going to play 2 fixtures, so I guess he's not even got a chance of minutes in the first game. So he's a single game week player, essentially. You'd have to put him actually pretty low. I guess down here, because a lot of the other single game week players are better than him, really. Let's just check for any more notifications. Anyone got any team news from other sources? I need other sources, guys. If you can find them, send them to me on Twitter. I want to see it. I want to see a different source. Nadish says Antonio to Edouard or Jimenez or I see. So basically, who to bring in for Antonio? Jimenez or Weghorst are the best options to go for sure. Possibly Weghorst for the double-double. Dancross says, over one of the Palace guys I could. Yeah, but which one? I guess Elise. I could do that. And then put Cancello second on the bench. I mean, I've got 10 minutes to decide. Let's just save that. I mean, like, the problem is with my team is that I am going to be benching points. I can't avoid that. There is always going to be players look at this bench. No matter what I do, there is going to be points on my bench, and I kind of have to a degree, just accept that. I kind of have to maybe just accept that I'm going to have points on the bench and not worry too much and just play who I want to play rather than worrying about, oh, I could potentially be benching points here. Maybe I just stop worrying. I mean, I want to bench Cancello because I want Son to score. I want to go all or nothing. I don't really want to hedge my bets on that one. And I don't think Cancelo's going to be that dangerous. So in that sense, maybe I'm pretty happy to bench Cancello. But then it's like, at least say double game week, you know, if the lineup news is fake, which I believe it is, could Elise outscore a player like Edouard? Could Elise outscore a player like Digne? Very, very possibly. Very possibly. But I do feel like Digne is going to be good this game week. I just think he's going to get points. I kind of have to go with my gut. I have to go with my gut. And I do want to play Digne, but at least say double game week. Check Twitter mentions. Okay, let's check them. I mean, I'm not going to... If you're sending me your teams and stuff, that's just being cheeky. Yeah, it's just people still tagging this one. This is the source I don't trust. This is the source I do not trust. So I know you're all tagging me, but I this guy is he's a troll. He's like, you know, there's nothing going on here that suggests this is legit. He's just put a team out. And you know what? He will claim after, oh, I was just writing some random names. You know, I was just writing some random names. There is a lot of wiggle room for him to get out of that, you know, saying, oh, you know, I wasn't really a leak. I don't like it. I don't trust it. Madmen Marketing says Maupay, Correa, Gordon and Marcel. Which one to play among the four? I would probably, out those four, I'd play Correa, I think. I'd play Correa. Right. I need to decide who to play out of Elise or Digne. I need to decide. I want to play both, but I can't. I need to just accept that I can't play everyone. Emmanuel says, would you bench Elise or Digne? I wish I knew the answer to that question. Out Broyer and Watkins. Watkins, I'm very happy to bench. There is a good chance Watkins doesn't even start. There's kind of rumours suggestions that Danny Ings is going to take the place of Watkins in the starting 11 because Watkins has just been so off it recently. Even if he does play, you know, how much do you expect from him? It's really difficult. I mean, can I maybe bench Broyer for Elise? Would that be a good move? No, it wouldn't. Broyer's got to start. I've got to play one of Elise and Digne. I've got to play one of them. Should we just do a vote? Let's do a poll. Let's do a poll. And maybe I'll just go with the poll. Or okay, maybe. Well, let's see. Right, I put in a poll. There's like a couple of minutes to answer. Get your answers in. Let's see. Let's see who you guys prefer out of Digne and Elise. Kabir says play Weghorst or Bowen this week. You got to play both. You do have to play both. Like, I'm leaning towards Bowen just because he's in such good form, but I would really want to play Weghorst as well. Aranya says, is it worth it starting Dyer? I guess so. He's pretty nailed. I don't think I'd transfer him out necessarily. But yeah, I think I would play it. I think I would play him. King or Edouard? I guess Edouard, I think. I don't know. 2 games versus 1 game, play Elise. Well, we don't know for sure if Elise is good. I mean, you know, even if the rumours is completely false, Elise has still got a good chance of being benched in one of the games. Now, even if he plays against Chelsea, there is every chance he gets benched against Watford. You know. What's the poll saying? The poll is leaning towards Elise, but it's not. Yeah, okay, yeah, we are quite heavily leaning towards Elise here in the poll. Who did I put in the bench list? Elise or Digne? I put Digne pretty low, but I'm changing my mind. See, this is the thing about the bench list, because it's so off the cuff, and when it gets a bit longer, it does get a bit messed up. I don't know. But you guys are leaning towards Elise, which is interesting. I've got 4 minutes to decide. I think I'm leaning towards Digne. The more I think about it, the more I lean towards Digne. My gut tells me Digne's going to... My gut's been telling me all week that Digne's going to have a good game week, but people have just been consistently telling me, don't play Digne, he's a troll. But I really want to play him. I really want to play him. So I'm just going to do it. Yeah, this is we're locked in. I think we're locked in. We're going to go with this team. I'm going to ignore the poll. I'm going to ignore you guys. We are going to go with Digne. I could live to regret this for sure, but we're going to keep that one. We're going to keep it as it is. Right, I'm ending the poll. Follow your heart, says Alan. Absolutely. My heart says Digne. Thank you for everyone who voted, obviously. That is wicked of you. But yeah, my gut says Digne. It really does. And my gut's been okay this season. It's been reasonably good. And I don't, as Sat Singh says in the chat, you maybe don't want to take a risk of banking on both Edouard and Elise. We know one of them's going to be benched at some point over the double. I like this. Darshan says he's unsubscribed. Fair enough. It's a strange thing to unsubscribe over, but, fair play. Broja or Foden. I do like Broja for this game week. Even though he's got a single game week, he's one of those single game week players that I really do like. I am keeping Cancello on the bench. I'm happy with that. I'm not going to play Cancello because I want Son to score against him. It's happening. I'm keeping Cancello on the bench. It's for me. It's between Digne and Cancello, because if I didn't have Son, I'd be much more tempted with Cancello. But I do have Son, and I want to go all or nothing. I don't want to hedge my bets on this one. There we go. Alan says you'll regret it more if Digne does well and you benched him, and that is so true as well. I will be annoyed. I'll be really annoyed if I go against my gut and Digne ends up doing well. Whereas Elise, I understand the risk with him. I'm half expecting him to flop. So if he does really well, it's kind of like I can look back at that and say, well, I mean, yes, he did well, but there was every chance he could have flopped. And I knew that he could have flopped. Whereas actually, Digne I have a really good feeling about. It's a nightmare, though. It's a nightmare. You guys are probably going to have... You're going to have points on your bench this game week. You're going to have points on your bench. That's just... You just got to accept it. You just got to make sure you've got more points on your starting 11. It's an insane bench, right? It's an absolutely insane bench. But we've got 1 minute till deadline. By the time my voice reaches you, the deadline's probably passed. That's my team. That's my final team. I'm happy. I am happy. There is going to be so many points on this bench. But it's okay. It's okay. Because there's going to be more points in the triple captain. I'm going to do a quick screenshot of my team so I can put that on Twitter in a bit. But there we go. Can the deadline just pass so I can can we just relax? I just want the deadline to pass so we can just stop worrying. Stop worrying about everything. Everything is in place. Everything is looking good. All the right players are playing. Triple captain is on Salah. And the deadline has officially passed. We're done. The deadline is passed, guys. We've done it. We've done it. We're locked. That, I tell you what, guys, that has got to go down as one of the most stressful game weeks of all time. So many people panicking, so many people taking mad big hits, people bringing in random players, people playing the wild cards, people, scrambling to get double game week players in, panicking about the future double game weeks. It's been a wild one. This is going to be a really interesting double game week. The most interesting double game week. A few people saying Robertson is benched. I mean, if that's true, then it's true. But I'd like to see a source on that one. Let's Talk FPL says Robertson may be benched. Well, I mean, we always knew that Robertson may be benched. There was always a possibility that there might be some rotation with Tsimikas. What's the source on this? I mean, how would we know? We're not is Liverpool games. When is the Liverpool kickoff? It's not the early one. The early kickoff is Newcastle versus West Ham, isn't it? Yeah, Liverpool's not playing till 3. The good source says Robbo is benched. All right, well, fair enough. From a safe source. Well, there you go. What are we going to do? I mean, I was never going to transfer out Robertson. I would never bench Rob. Even if Robertson plays a single game week against Leeds, I'm not going to bench him then anyway. So there's no point worrying about that too much. He said it on his stream about 15 seconds before deadline. Jesus. I mean, but fair enough. If it's true, if it's true, it's true. But there's every chance that things could, even if it is true now, that could still change between now and the game, because teams aren't, they're not always completely locked in until a little bit closer to the deadline. Like, media teams won't know about who's starting. I don't know when the teams would have found out who's starting. Don't know. But, I mean, who cares? Robertson in a single game week against Leeds is very good. So it doesn't really matter too much. Yeah, and like Brownie has said in the chat, Robbo is better than Van Dijk long term, which is kind of what I was saying earlier. I think someone asked earlier, Robertson or Van Dijk. Van Dijk I would definitely prefer for this game week, but longer term I would definitely prefer to have Robertson. So, I mean, as long as you haven't captained Robertson this game week, I think you're all right. If you've captained Robertson, then maybe this is a bit of mud. But no, like a few minutes of Robbo this game week. In the Norwich game and then a full game against Leeds, that's fine with me. That really is. Tsimikas put it on his Insta as well. What? Tsimikas put on his Instagram that he's playing today. You can't do that, can you? You can't admit on Instagram that you're playing like hours before the game. Oh well. But it doesn't matter because the deadline is passed, so there's no point in panicking about anything. Check Tsimikas' story on Instagram. All right, fine. Does he actually say that he's playing? I'm not saying it's not true, but I am saying that is a strange thing for a football player to do. Oh, he hasn't said he's playing as well at all. He's just got a picture of himself. All right. For those of you who haven't seen this is the picture of Tsimikas saying he's playing. It's just a picture of himself. It's just a graphic of himself. Yeah. All right. Well, Tsimikas always done this. Okay. Yeah. Well, there you go. All players always do this. Players do this all the time. They put a match day picture of themselves on their on their stories. If that's the source, then I'm having some doubts. But if there is actually a serious source, then obviously that's a completely different scenario. But that is not evidence. It does have the Norwich and Liverpool. It does have the Norwich logo on it. That does have the Norwich logo on it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know. Trent and Robbo bench, they say. you know what? If Trent is benched as well, then we're in trouble. If Trent isn't playing as well. Right, guys, I know, I've seen it in enough. Everyone is just saying over and over again in the chat. Andy says Robertson isn't playing. He got it from a source. Fine, I believe you. I'm not going to keep saying it over and over again unless you want me to. In which case, I will. Yeah, so guys, Robertson is not starting today. Let's Talk FPL has said that he's got it from a source literally just 10 minutes ago that Robertson is not starting today. So we're having serious doubts about Robertson starting. If Trent benches us, benched, I'm quitting FPL. Yeah, I don't blame you. My goldfish just says Robbo plays. Oh, okay. Oh, Pat's just come in the chat, says Robbo benched. Yeah, I can confirm this. So, in Let's Talk FPL stream about 5-10 minutes ago, he did get a message from a source, a trustworthy insider source, saying that Robertson is actually not going to be playing today. So be aware, Robertson, there's a very good chance that he is benched today. So there we go. Just be aware of that. All Things FPL says Robson confirmed bench. Yeah, I can confirm this. So about 5-10 minutes ago on Let's Talk FPL stream, he confirmed via a source in his DMs that Robertson is actually going to be benched today. So be aware there's going to be some serious doubts about Robertson today. Don't expect him to play. Good chance that he is benched. So be aware of that, guys. So there we go. Konate starts ahead of Virgil van Dijk. Can you imagine? Now that would be pretty wild. Charlie in the chat says Robertson and Ait Nori is benched. Okay, so Robertson is benched. Guys, so basically the source for this Robertson news is Andy, Let's Talk FPL, on his stream about 5-10 minutes ago, got a message from someone who's inside the club, an insider source, saying that Robertson is going to be benched today. So be aware, if Robson is benched today later, it's I know we got the news very, very late, but we are expecting that Robson is benched later. So just be aware of that. And thank you for reminding me to let you guys know about that. Benjamin Mahmood says, are you sure Robbo benched? Yeah, so basically about 5-10 minutes ago, Andy Let's Talk FPL revealed on his stream that someone sent him a message, a source in his DMs, saying that Robertson is going to be benched today. So guys, be aware that Robertson could be benched today. So just be aware of that, guys. Good chance that Robertson is on the bench today, because that's what happened. And thank you for reminding me to let everyone know about Robson being benched. So I'll make sure I keep saying that. It won't stop. It won't stop. Josh Grimmer says, don't say confirmed, because then if he isn't benched, people will be pissed at Andy and blame him for no reason. He clearly said it was not confirmed. Yeah, nothing's confirmed until it happens. Nothing is confirmed, and that is always what you got to remember. But if there is a trustworthy source that has said something, there's a good reason to believe it. There's a good reason to believe it. So yeah. John says, who's on your bench, mate? I'm not showing it. I'm not showing it. Okay, so Thomas in the chat has asked, is Robertson benched? James also says Robertson is likely benched. I can actually answer that. So what happened about 10 minutes ago, Let's Talk FPL, during his live stream, received a message from a trustworthy source within Liverpool saying that Robertson is benched today. So just be aware, there's a very good chance that Robertson is benched later on today. Be aware of that. So Dan Sykes says, what did I miss? Is Robbo benched? Don't worry. I got you covered. So, about 10 minutes... I can't do this again. I can't do this joke anymore. I can't do it anymore. Guys, stop putting in the chat about Robertson being benched. We know. We've spoken about it already. We can't just keep talking about Robertson being benched over and over again. We can't. This can't be the rest of the stream. Is this what we want to do? For the rest of the whole stream, just talk about Robson being benched. It is so boring. We get it. Robertson's benched. Everyone who's got Robertson is in the mud. Oh. Can we talk about someone else being benched now? Who else is going to be benched? I don't know the source. It's just I'm not going to keep talking about it. I'm not. It's not my source. It's not my news to give. Trent benched for Milner. Imagine. Anwar says he was the source and he lied. Dino's benched. Can you imagine? Bowen benched. Everyone's benched. I actually, there are 11 players I think are going to be benched. The 11 players I think are going to be benched are Ramsdale, Ait-Nouri, Alexander-Arnold, Robertson, Digne, Salah, Son, Cornet, Bowen, Edouard, and Broja. Those players are all benched. Source, trust me, bro. Source, trust me, bro. Klopp watching you having fun. Klopp is watching this stream right now and he's thinking, I've tricked them. They think Robertson's benched now. But Robertson's starting. I'm not showing you my bench. I want to see my own bench. I've looked at my team. There's nothing I can do about it now. All that's going to happen if I show you my bench is people are going to say, "Oh, Dan, you should have played someone else. You shouldn't have played this player. You should have played that player on your bench." I'm not going through that. I'm not going through that heartache. I'm really not. But yes, the triple captain is active. Is active. FPL Mate bench. Yeah. I'm also benched. I'm benched. Guys, you know what? All of you guys are benched as well. I'm benched. You're benched. We're all benched. Let's just be benched together. I'm benched. I'm on the bench right now. Does this chair count as a bench? If so, I'm benched. You guys are benched. You guys sitting comfortably, you're benched. And now, what I'd be interested in knowing is, did anyone captain Robertson? Now that would be it. That is where things would actually get a bit interesting. FPL is benched. Yeah, the whole of FPL is benched. Yeah, every team this game week is just going to put out their under 21 team. They're all just going to play their youth team, and every single FPL asset is going to be on the bench. Dan Cross says he's not benched, he's in the stands. I mean, if you're in the stands, that's even worse than being benched. That's a lengthy injury layoff. I mean, yeah, if we considered that Robertson might not be benched because he might not even be on the bench. He might be in the stands. Now that would be pretty tragic. If Robertson is in the stands, then we have a problem because that means there's probably something wrong with him. This whole stream is benched, right? Storm Eunice is benched. I hope Eunice gets benched. Just so all these games go ahead. Is Edouard benched? Yeah, why not? Everyone's benched. We're all benched. Milky Way Galaxy benched. The whole galaxy is benched. The local group is benched. Everything's benched. Oh, should we just talk about benches? I mean, maybe the fact that we're just talking about benching so much is maybe a sign that that maybe this stream is devolving into nonsense a little bit. Maybe that's a sign to call the stream off, go get some breakfast, and wait for the team news. I mean, team news is not coming. When is team news? 15 minutes. The thing is with the team news for the early fixture is not that interesting because it's kind of, it's West Ham against Newcastle. Does anyone really care about that? I mean, obviously a bit, but we know Bowen's going to be starting, and that's pretty much the only player we're kind of looking for, really. There's no way Bowen gets benched. I say that, but we're talking about benching so much. Donny van der Beek is benched. You know what? You know what's going to happen? Everyone's going to be benched, and Donny van der Beek is going to be the only person who isn't benched. We're going to need longer benches, yeah. We're going to need the world's longest bench in the world. But yeah, I'm not that interested in the team news. I think I'm not more interested in the double game weeks, which Newcastle and West Ham are not double game week teams. No one's captaining anyone from those teams. No one is loading up too heavily on those teams, I don't think. So, yeah, forget it. Forget it. The word bench is getting really weird now. Yeah, eventually it will start sounding unreal. Does bench even sound like a real word anymore? Bench, 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 bench. It doesn't sound like a real word. Right, guys, we're gonna call the stream a day. We've been going for an hour, which is less than usual, I suppose. But still, I'm just not that bothered about the team news, and I've not really got any rubbish to talk about today. I've not really got any stories, I don't think. So I can't think of any. No, I'll try and come up with an interesting or funny story, maybe for next deadline stream. Get bench trending on Twitter. Your mama is benched. The bench is benched. Bloody bench-hoed. Right, guys, we're going to end the stream. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like before you disappear. If you haven't subscribed already, please do subscribe. Enjoy all of the wackiness of all of the benchings that are inevitably coming our way. You know, it's going to be interesting. This whole game week is going to be super, super interesting. So just try and enjoy it. But I think it could be a really fun one. So, guys, enjoy the football. Thank you so much for watching. And catch you guys over on Twitter. See you later, mates. Bye-bye. We're on the wrong screen. That's not the outro. I'll get this right. Give me a second. Or we can stay on for it. Or stay on the big screen. Now we go. See you later, guys. Bye.